Hi everyone, this is Frank Demore with the Last Chronicles of Planet Earth, and today is May 10th of 2011. And before I get going, the first thing that I want to do here is to give you a scripture that Jesus warned us about these last days. And you can find this scripture, and if you go to my website, you'll be able to see the scripture there and be able to click to the news that I'm going to be giving to you today. Just go to my website under BibleProphecyMan.com. That's BibleProphecyMan.com. And while you're there, you'll be able to download my documentary on Bible prophecy and current events for free. But when you take a look in Matthew's Gospel in the New Testament, you'll be able to read a warning from Jesus Christ, and he says this in Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravenous wolves. And there's a lot of them coming out of the woodwork as of late, and I'm going to be talking about two of them. Now, I did a video a couple days ago that the sound didn't come out, so I'm going to repeat some of the information that I gave you a couple days ago about another man, another self-proclaimed prophet that is warning about the some incidents that are going to be taking place on May 21st. But first, let me give you this. I'm going to put this up in hopes that you'll be able to see it, all right? But don't worry about it, because if you can't see it, you can go to my website and you'll be able to read the entire article. I have the link there. This says, Taiwanese prophet claims country will be destroyed by a quake Wednesday. A self-proclaimed Taiwanese prophet stated the countdown Tuesday for what he said would be a huge earthquake as workers moved tons of bottled water and other supplies to makeshift shelters. Now, when you read this, there's a Taiwanese prophet, calls himself a prophet. He's 54 years old, and he is warning that there's going to be an earthquake that is going to hit magnitude 14 on the Richter scale, which we've never seen anything like that in the history since they've been monitoring earthquakes. According to this article, it says that the earthquake is going to hit, and I'm going to read this. It says the 54-year-old said that the 14 magnitude killer quake would strike the island at 10:42 and 37 seconds local time Wednesday, killing at least 1 million people. Now, here's the deal here. Further down into the article, it says a Weather Bureau spokesman added that issuing unauthorized forecasts on earthquakes is punishable by a fine of up to $35,000. Let me just say this. I hope that this self-proclaimed prophet has $35,000, because he's going to need it 1 second after the earthquake doesn't show up and there's no tsunami, because he also said that there's going to be a tsunami associated with this 14 magnitude earthquake that is going to kill 1 million people. So you'll see that the things that Jesus warned are coming true. And this particular self-proclaimed prophet in Taiwan isn't the only one. There's a lot of them. The one that is getting the most attention right now, and I wrote and I gave a YouTube video a couple of days ago that didn't come out, is a man by the name of Harlod Camping from Family Radio. He has a huge following. He has his own radio show, and he has buses all over the United States that are traveling, warning people that on May 21st of this month, the end of the world is going to take place. Now, Camping he also has billboards in many places around the United States saying the same thing, that the end of the world is going to be coming on May 21st. I just saw one of these billboards. I was up in the Bay Area driving down 101, and there was a huge billboard about this particular date. Now, for those of you, I want to challenge anyone who believes and follows this man by the name of Harlod Camping. And I'm going to challenge you this way. If you're one of his followers who really believe that this is true and that this man is a true prophet, then please email me your name. I mean, stand up for what you believe, right? I mean, if you really believe this and there's no doubts in your mind and you're driving these buses and you're putting up these billboards, email me your name. And the reason why I want to do this is because I want to take all of the names who really believe this man, because on May 22nd of this month, when you find out that the end of the world didn't happen, you're going to need somebody that you can trust to give you correct information according to Scripture. The Bible tells us that no man knows the day or the hour. Now, I know if you go to Harlod Camping's site, he'll explain this, but believe me, it's not going to happen. We know exactly when Jesus Christ is going to be coming back, because he said every eye will see him. The 7-year tribulation hasn't even begun yet, and we know that Jesus doesn't come back until the end of the 7-year tribulation. So we know that there's no way that Christ is going to be coming back on May 21st of 2011. So if you really want to stand up for what you believe, and if you believe this man and if you're following this man, please take this challenge and email me your name, because I'm going to have to give you some information after the 22nd to help you, to lift you up and to put you on the right path to following what Jesus Christ said, not what a false prophet said. Now, for many of you who haven't followed prophecy, I believe it was in 1994 where Harlod Camping also said that in September there was going to be the end of the world back in 1994, and that didn't happen. So if that didn't show you this man was a false prophet, I'm sure that, at least I'm hopefully sure that on May 22nd you'll understand that Harlod Camping, what he is saying, is misleading many, and this man is definitely someone who is cloaked with lamb, but underneath he's really, as the Scripture tells us, a wolf. So just stay tuned, just watch the calendar, and you'll see these events being played out. And I can assure you that when Jesus tells us in Revelation that every eye will see him when he comes back, it's not going to be on May 21st. And again, as I said, we know that because the tribulation hasn't even started, and 7 years have to pass at least. If it started today, the tribulation, Jesus would return 7 years from now. We know that can't happen on the 21st. So please, I mean, the Lord told us to watch for these false prophets, and they are here. And if you're following one of these false prophets, you need to leave them. That's the most important part of this video, is to understanding when you see a false prophet, you're commanded to leave him, to get away from him, and to start listening to sound doctrine. And I invite you that you can come to my website, and I can assure you that I'm just going to quote exactly what Jesus said. You will never get any dates from me that shows, you know, the day of the hour. And just like this Taiwanese prophet, he's given you right to the second when the earthquake is going to take place. But as I said, that Taiwanese is going to be out of pocket $35,000 pretty soon. And according to the article, he can get the minimum 5-year jail sentence for fraud. So please take the challenge and listen, because on May 22nd and on this particular Wednesday, there will be no either the end of the world or 14 magnitude earthquake. Pay attention to the word of the Lord. It is important, because Jesus said that when the Antichrist comes, the Bible tells us, he says, I'm going to send a strong delusion that they will believe the lie. And if you can believe these things, what these men are saying, what's going to happen to you when the Antichrist comes? That if you're still behind, if you're left behind when the Lord takes the church away. You'll believe anything. So please, it's very important to understand what to look for and then do exactly what Jesus said. Thank you.